Hey guys, it's Lauren, and today I finally was able to do another cooking video, which is definitely one of my favorite things to do. And I was able to make orange cinnamon rolls, and they turned out so good. So if you guys want the recipe, then keep watching because you need this recipe in your life. So in a large mixing bowl, I put in flour, sugar, salt, and I put the yeast that I let rise in some warm water together, and then I just hooked it up to my KitchenAid and began the process of making bread. And so I just whisked it all together, and I did need some more flour just because it was really sticky, but this is all dependent on your own bread, so the measurements won't be exactly correct. It will be up to your own, so you just gotta check out for it. And then once the bread was done, I put some flour down on a cutting board just so the bread wouldn't stick, or the dough wouldn't stick onto the cutting board, and I just scraped all it out and then put some more flour on my rolling thingamabob, I forgot what they're called, and this is just so you can roll it out, and again, you do not want your bread to stick. And I rolled it until it was about half an inch thick or so, or inch thick, yeah, and once it was all even out, I put some butter on it so all the mixture could stick to it. And this is very important because you do not want all of your delicious cinnamon sugar to be spilling out of the sides, and all you're left with is plain old bread. Then I put together some sugar and some cinnamon just to make some cinnamon sugar mixture, which is to die for. And I like a lot of cinnamon on mine, so obviously I added a little bit more than what the recipe called for. And then I just sprinkled this all over the dough that I rolled out previously, and I realized that for mine it wasn't enough, so I made a little bit more of the cinnamon sugar mixture, which you might have to vary too depending on how thin or thick you roll it, because each one will be a little bit different. And I'm really happy I made the call to make more of the sugar because it would have been really bready and really not cinnamony at all, which would have ruined the whole thing. And then after doing that, I just zested up half a lemon and half an orange, and then I realized I was obsessed with oranges, so I did a full one pretty much. And I just rolled it all together, as you can see, and cut it into that were pretty much the same size, about probably 2 inches thick or so. And this is just, you don't want it too thin or else it will fall apart. I just greased the glass pie pan and put all of the rolls together in it. And the next step was to make the icing, and the recipe calls for powdered sugar, but I didn't have any, so this is a little hack. You use half a cup of cornstarch and half a cup of sugar, and this will kind of substitute in for not having powdered sugar, and my cousin taught me this, and it's so amazing. And yeah, I took a little break in between to look at the muffins, and they were looking so good, and oh my god. But yep, I just put it all together and then added the juice of the orange just so it gets that oranginess in it, because the whole thing is an orange cinnamon roll, so you gotta have it super orangey. and I wanted more orange, so I added some more, obviously, and honestly, this was so freaking good. So then I stirred it up finally, and it got into this really nice kind of glaze. It wasn't as much of an icing, but I was okay with that. And to make it even more orangey, which obviously we don't have enough orange, I zested in another orange peel, a full one, and this made a really big difference. So definitely do this. It makes so good. So freaking good. After 25 minutes, my rolls were all done and they were looking so freaking good. Like, look at it. It's so good. Like, oh my god. Right now, I really want another one because they're so good. And obviously, I had to let it cool because otherwise the icing would run all over. So in this time, I took the time to kind of cut up my orange, and I tried to make it look really fancy and pretty, but then I realized, I just want some little orange bits, so it was pretty much a waste of time because the whole decoration process that I wanted didn't even work, but I guess it was okay. So if you didn't think I was an orangeaholic yet, then now I most definitely am, because I put in even more orange into the icing to make the cinnamon rolls even more orangey. And honestly, this was so good, having little chunks of orange with the bread. Like, oh my god, it was to die for. Yum. And here is my cinnamon rolls all completed, and I try to put on the glaze at this time, but the muffins were still a little bit too hot, and since my thing was a glaze, it probably wouldn't have much mattered, but I decided just to wait a little bit more, which is why the lighting's a little bit different in the other room, because the lighting changed, so I needed a light, and it just makes it look yellow, but it's okay. It's okay. And yeah, by this time, after like 20 minutes, the muffins were all cool, or not cool, but like they were warm, so it was okay to frost them, and I decorated them each with this little orange wedge, and everyone in my family loved it, and it was super, super good Sunday morning breakfast. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you want me to do any more cooking videos, like any ideas or whatever, put them in the comments below, because I love to cook, and if you guys want to see it, I would definitely love to do it. And if you haven't already, then make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. If you did it, it would mean the world to me, and I love you all so freaking much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.